On a sidebar, I'm probably gonna lose some followers after this.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
For sure. After I finish talking and explaining myself, especially with the Asian hate one, I think that one is gonna rock some people's boat a little bit.
White people, that's another thing. But I didn't say I ain't like white people, but whatever.
Yeah, we didn't say that.
The way they read it.
Exactly. But also, if you're not black, then you can't resonate and then you can't understand. Like, there's a reason why I just trust white people. For me, it's not like I just don't. And don't get me wrong, I fuck with white people. Like, I have white coworkers.
Right.
I have
hold on. Wait, I was about to make a joke. Like, you sound just like them.
I have a black friend, right?
I have a black friend. My cousin used to date this black guy. I was like, no, black people. You don't fuck with black people.
Right, right, exactly. But I do sound like that. Because I have white coworkers.
I have white friends. Like, well, there's a white person that lives right down the block from me.
Like, I'm totally white people.
Go white people. You know what's funny? I really do. You know what's funny? I really do. I really do be making this joke like white people is amazing, right? Because, you can watch these movies or whatever you watch, right? I forgot what I was watching the other day. I think it was the Godzilla movie. And whatever this white person did, I was just like, they picked up something hella heavy. Like, they was just invincible. I'm like, yo, white people are fucking amazing, bro. Like, they can do anything.
Yo. So they can be anyone. They can do anything.
No, for real. They could get away with anything. Like, at this point, they are
them niggas
what they
elite.
are.
Right, them niggas is elitists. They elite.
They think they're elite, and they are. They are the supreme.
Nah. You think about it, like, I fuck around and go inside somewhere and shoot the shit up, and y'all giving me water. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
a cheeseburger.
I'm taking it back. I'm like, oh shit. Maybe I should do this more often. This is the treatment I'm gonna get.
Hello,
after.
I just did a little vacay. Cause that's what it seemed like.
It
was just a little vacay.
Insane. That is insane. Wow. Ooh, that was a good laugh.
Funny, not funny, but
no, funny, not funny. But sometimes you gotta make jokes out of your traumas that just make them a little bit less hurting.
No, just so you could breathe for the day. Like,
yeah, like, that is fucking funny. Ooh, and it's funny to say that, like, I have white coworkers, because it's like, I deadass am one of the only black people at my job.
Damn.
My other coworker, she's black, but she's just, like, she's a therapist, so I feel like she's on a different level than me. Like,
yes.
She, and she works upstairs and downstairs, so there's some days when she's not working downstairs, and I'm legit the only black person at my job. Like,
I've had that before. I've been, like, the only black person at my job before, and it's really awkward.
It is. It's so awkward. It's weird. Thankfully, my coworker, she's Puerto Rican, so I have another minority there, and one of my other coworkers, she's Vietnamese, I think that's how you say it. Vietnamese. I'm not sure. But like, I'm not the only minority there, I guess. But I am the only black person, and so sometimes I just be feeling like weird, like, damn, like, you ever just, and it doesn't mean to say it like that, but like, you ever just want to crack a joke with a black person? Like, I can't even do that. Like,
yes,
like,
bro,
just shit that we would understand. Like, like.
Yes. Like, when I first moved here, I was working for FedEx office, and when I started working there was a black girl there, but she was the only black girl at the time, and so when I came, like, and instantly it was just like we would automatically like say she would make a joke like based on Dream Girls or like Lean on Me or something, and I would get it, and she was like, oh my God, bitch, this is the friend I needed. Nobody knew what I was talking about.
You see, like,
or like she would make a joke from The Temptations. I'm just like, bruh, these are black things. White people ain't gonna get them. Those are black movies.
Yo, I swear, one time I was at work, and in my job we have a Sonos speaker, so like we have music that plays in the pool room, the treatment room, and in the office, like in the reception area. And I think my coworker had put on a station on Pandora, and it was like obviously some white shit. think it was like Morchiba or something that I don't even know, like heard of the first time. And she was like, I was listening to music, and she was like, you know, you can change it to hip hop or R&B or something like that. And I was just like, okay. Like, you know, like, cause it's just like,
I listen to Machiba too.
Right, like, you feel me? Like, what's wrong? Like, you know, like, and it wasn't like I didn't feel like she was at you know, like, I try not to be like, okay, they're saying that to me because I'm black. Because I'm like, you know what? Let me give people the benefit of the doubt. Let me not be negative and be like, okay, they're telling me that because I'm black. Maybe they just really thought that I wanted to listen to R&B and hip hop music. Like, I'm gonna just give her the benefit of the doubt.
No, but my thing. So you know what I don't like, which is, it's like a good thing that they're trying to do, but I just read it the wrong way. Like, if I go on the Uber and the Uber changes the music to like a hip hop station,
yeah,
I'd be like, but you ain't have to do that because I listen to pop, I listen to reggae, I listen to I listen to everything. But you went to this hip hop station, so that make me feel some type of way. Like, you didn't have to do that. And I got my AirPods in, sucker. Like,
I didn't even want to listen to your music. Nobody listen to your shit anyways. That should be crazy. Like, niggas be surprised when I pull out the Tim McGraw. Like, yeah, I listen to country too, nigga. Like, I listen to it all. Like, just because I'm black, don't mean nothing. Like, that don't mean I can't listen to other types of music. You feel me? I'm not always trying to listen to shooting gang music and stuff, or like any type of like just music you would correlate with a black person. Like, that's not, I guess, always the type of music I'm trying to listen to. I'm diverse, just like in every, just like any human. Like, I feel like people try to treat us a special way because we're black. Like, bro, you're doing too much. Like, I'm black,
and it's because reality of it is black people influence a lot of the culture, a lot of our creative culture. Dancing, singing, artistry, black people influence that shit. So they are always gonna be like try to like side with us or try to be like, oh, okay, like if it's cool with us, then it's cool. You feel me?
Yeah, like, you feel me? Like that, even that whole thing with like, you know, people who are not black saying nigga. It was like, oh, but if a black person says that you could say nigga, you're valid. Like, you're good. Like, nobody could tell you anything. Like,
you know what? I'm still kind of like real conflicted on how I feel about using that word because I use it all the time. Like, I use it in conversation.
Right, me too.
It's nothing to me, nigga.
Right.
I use that shit all the time. But I understand what people mean, like, with the connotation with the word, how some people feel like you can't take the meaning from that word. Like, you can't, there's no way that you can
turn it into
shape that differently. Like, you can call somebody a bitch and try to be like, no, a bitch actually means that you're like, you a badass bitch, like you the boss's bitch, and they like, no, a bitch is still a bitch.
Yeah.
But nigga, I just feel like I'm gonna use the word,
right?
Because I'm not gonna take the time and energy not to say it because I say it. I say it so naturally.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like really talking about it, I don't get offended when my Mexican friends, my Puerto Rican friends, my Jamaican friends, my Dominican friends, I don't get offended when they say nigga. I don't.
Me neither.
Especially when I'm in the Bronx.
Right.
I don't feel no type of way. Like, bruh, it literally doesn't even cross my mind as something wrong.
And you know, and I was gonna say if I'm here, where you're from.
Yes, because if like somebody here, you'll barely see Puerto Ricans or Dominicans. Like, you'll see some Mexicans, but like, I just feel like you know when it's racist, and that's when you correct it. Like, I feel like, and I wouldn't be okay with somebody like Filipino, for example, just being like, yo, nigga this, nigga that. Whoa, calm down.
I felt that.
Because like, yes, you're a minority, but like, you a different type of minority. Like, for example, if we was like back then, you wouldn't be considered black. You would be considered white still, but you just a minority.
Right.
So like, but like Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Caribbeans, those are people that were still considered black. So to me, technically, I don't get offended when they say nigga.
Yeah,
I'm just
me neither. And just like you said, from the Bronx, like, I feel like people, like, obviously we're from the Bronx, so the word nigga is just a part of our culture. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, apart from being from here, it's just like, obviously, if I go to Texas, if I go down south, that word might be different. Like, nigga might be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, nigga might be,
or it might be jit.
yeah, like it might be different type of, like we all have different type of slang, but I feel like, you know, I have Hispanic friends and I have other black friends, and I just feel like I don't get offended when they say nigga because I know where they grew up. I know where they're from. Like I know that that's just as much as I grew up listening to that word and hearing it and using it as a term of endearment to my friend or whatever. They did the same thing. We grew up in the same neighborhood. Yeah. So how I'm gonna get older and be like, you can't say nigga? And like you said, you know when it's racist. Like obviously I'm not gonna let nobody say nigga to me and they using the hard R, or they trying, you know what I'm saying, and they saying it with a malice intent, or they're saying it in a way to disrespect me. Obviously, I don't give a fuck what you are. I don't even give a fuck if you're black. You're not even gonna call me that. You feel me? So it's like it depends on what type of term, how you using it is my thing and how I go about it. You know, and I also, what your intention is. Yes, and also for other people, like I guess like for white people, like they'll be like, but why can't white people say nigga? And I just feel like, but what would what would be the reason for why you want to say that? Yeah, like you don't live in a neighborhood where that's said. You're white. You know what I mean? Like, what would be the benefit of you calling me your nigga? Like
it's not in your normal
vocabulary.
Like, vocabulary, yeah. It's so not. You don't have to say it. So now when they be like, oh, okay, but if it's in a song, like, can I sing it?
But why? like. I just be
like you don't have to. Like you really don't have to.
You don't.
Let's say if it was different. Let's say if the word we're talking about is cracker. Let's say cracker was in every song. Cracker this, cracker that, cracker this, cracker that. Oh my God, cracker this, cracker that.
Right.
Would you want to say it?
No. I would feel like no.
Would you want to say it?
Especially if there was like.
You wouldn't be like, oh yeah. No, you wouldn't say that shit.
Like that's just. Yeah, I wouldn't say
so
it.
So just stop. Just stop.
And I get it, like, you know, it's a song, like, it's lit and all that stuff, but it's just, like, there's people that just be like, you know what, I'm just not gonna say that part, like, and it's just like, okay, like, you feel me, I respect that, like, I don't know, like, I just be like,
I feel like I can't dictate on who can and cannot say it.
Yeah,
but I know when you around me, I'm gonna call your ass out if you white. Yeah. If you white.
With the
That's it. I'm calling you out.
And so my last question for you, I was going to ask you, so like, how does it feel just being a black woman? Like, how do you feel affected by all the things that go on with Black Lives Matter, or just being a black woman in general? Like, how do you feel like it affects you? Like,
I feel like being a black woman is powerful. I feel like being black is so like, and that's only one part of my identity. I'm a black, female, queer, Muslim woman. And having all of those identities are literally like juggling a couple of hats. But I feel like being a black woman is powerful. Like I wouldn't change it for anything. I had the question on my story the other day, like, if you could be another race, what would you be? Or
and I said no.
Reincarnated, what would you be? Yeah, and it was really to like see where people's minds is at. Like if they could, or they did have a choice, would they? And I would never change.
And I feel like some people would be like that devil's advocate that would say like, but why wouldn't you want to be white? You wouldn't be oppressed. Like you, and it's just like, but bro, like no.
Well,
like,
if I could choose my race, the world would be differently, and black people probably wouldn't be oppressed. So that wouldn't even be the scenario.
Exactly.
so I'm not gonna say that. But I would love to be black any day, every day, 24/7. Like, I'm gonna be black 365. But being a black woman is so powerful. How I feel about it is that I really feel like I have a tool. I feel like I'm a tool. And you could either use it or lose it. And I feel like in the status that I have, the kind of people, like the people that I know, the community that I've built, like I'm gonna use it. I'm very powerful, and as a black woman, and that's what that's what helped shape me to be that powerful. Yeah. So being a black woman is bomb as fuck. Ain't nobody like it. Ain't no other woman like it.
Okay. I mean, that's just period. Like I feel the same way. I feel like I've grown so much from being a black little girl, and you know, just seeing the way black women are treated, the way they're looked at, the way they're seen, to being a black woman, and just knowing that being a black is such a beautiful thing. I'm so versatile. I can do so much. You know, not only just being black with my hair, You know, like I can just do so much with myself. My skin is like fucking golden. Like when I'm in the sun, I fucking glow. Like, you feel me? Like,
hello,
just noticing certain shit that I need to be happy about, and I need to appraise myself for, even though the world may put me down for it. Like, you feel me? My big lips, my big nose, all that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I had to learn.
Yes. I was gonna say, like, back in the day, like when we was younger, like just growing up, you grow up with so many insecurities because automatically, like, your race is just oppressed. Like, your race is ugly, the worst of the worst. Like, no, black is just nasty. It's like the worst connotation ever. And so when you grow up and realize that that's what people want you to view yourself as, that's what people want you to think, like, that's how America was built. Like, there is other ways. Like, no, it doesn't mean this. And so once you start digging into yourself, you like, wow, this is such a beautiful thing. Like, you can literally start to live once you start to realize how beautiful it is.
How beautiful it is. And also, once you start to realize that the world wants what you have. The world wants what you have, literally. Like, you feel me? Like, you don't even have to be worried about that. People want curly hair. You're a trend. You're a trend. We're a trend. You feel me? Like, we're literally a trend. And I feel like that sometimes, like, being black is a trend. To be black is a trend at some point. You feel me? That is such a trend.
If it ain't them tanning their skin, curling their hair, filling their lips, filling their hips, filling their booty, filling their titties, filling their face so they can have these high cheekbones, it's something. It's always something, and it's always in the light of black people. So it, like, I was saying that to like my little to my niece and my little sister too. Like, once you start journeying into yourself, and really it comes from like a self-reflection, because it could be some like chaotic ass random situation you had that made you just start thinking like within, and once you start that journey, it's just like boom, it's like a marathon. It never stops. And that's when you realize you start separating yourself or doing certain things, because you can create the life that you want to live. You can create the life you want to live.
You really can. If you manifest it, if you believe it.
Yep. You know, and put like,
put that action to your words. Like, put that action behind your intentions, and not just, you know, think that shit is just gonna magically fall into your lap. Like, you have to put the work in. You know. But
people be like, good things come to those who wait. But you wait momentarily. You have to be patient, yes, but you ain't gonna wait for a lifetime. You gotta go out and get that shit.
Especially, and I just feel like, even to the men, like, you know, like, I'm gonna be doing an episode on that, because that is even so controversial as being a black woman. But like, even dating, like, even I found myself when I would go to date men, like, you know, that stigma. I don't like black women. I don't like loud, ratchet black women that do this and do that. And I'm just like,
but you know what it was? It wasn't even like they don't like black women. It was more so that they didn't like how powerful or independent a black woman is, because in any other race, in any other race, women are less. Like, the man is the head of household. He's masculine. He has that macho kind of demeanor, and that's in Mexican culture. That's in, you know, that's in Asian culture. That's in a lot of cultures. And so in black culture, women was the so strong. They were the breadwoman. And it's both. It goes both ways. And so when a woman is able to represent herself, be independent and all that, dudes is like, hell no, I don't want no difficult ass woman. And hell no, she's gonna try to think for herself, do this for herself, do this and that. And so no, why would they ever want a woman like that, right? And then when they realize that that's not the case, it's just the fact that a woman that knows what she wants, that's when they're like, oh, she's a go-getter. Like, oh, I need a woman like that. She's self-sufficient. She could do everything on her own. And I'm just rocking with her, you know? And that's what ends up being the nature of the relationship.
I feel like that's something that has affected me as a black woman. Like, just learning to love the skin that I'm in and not be worried, like, you know, about, like, being, even when we were younger, like, don't stay outside too long. You're going to be black. Just like, bro.
Yes.
You know, or like when damn, why would you tell a child
people ever told you your knees was hella dirty?
Like, why would you? Yeah, like, well, why would you say that? Your
knees wasn't dirty.
They was just darker because that's just the way your skin is set up, and who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Hello.
Like, you know, shout out, yo. I just want to say this. I don't even know if this is gonna make it into the show, but Malcolm, I'm so sorry. Like Malcolm. Remember they used to make fun of Malcolm?
Malcolm.
Yes.
Wow.
I used to.
I'm sorry to Malcolm. I'm sorry to Solomon, because Solomon was black too.
Solomon.
And, yo, we used to, and we was horrible because they was African booty scratchers. They was all type of
turn up the light, whatever. You can't even see them type of vibes, and it was just ignorance. It was just
Malcolm
ignorance.
Got some nice chocolate ass skin.
He does, and you know what's
Solomon
so
got some nice chocolate ass skin.
And to the point where sometimes even when I go on vacation, I'm like, yo, I want to tan so I could be darker. And look at me now. Look at me now saying I want my skin to be rich and darker. Yet when I was young, I'm sitting there making fun of my own people because they're darker, not realizing that this is the divide they want me to have anyway with my people. Like, yeah, he's darker, so he's blacker, and I'm light skinned. I'm lighter than him, so that means something. Like, that don't mean shit. We all black anyway. We just everybody's on different parts of the color wheel, but we all black. Like, you know.
And when I was younger, I don't know why, but in elementary school, I used to tell people I was Black, Puerto Rican, and Dominican. I was all three. I don't know how, because I was 50% of all of them. But I'm telling you that I was Black, Puerto Rican, and Dominican. And when I think about that, because I don't know if anybody remembers that, but when I think about that now, I'm like, how could you ever?
Like, yeah, like, why would you ever?
What are you even talking about?
But there was a lot of black people on that type of time, especially girls. Like, oh, if I say I'm mixed with something else, maybe I'll be liked more. Like, you feel me? Like, if I say,
or you just prettier because you mixed.
Yes, like, you know, because being straight black, it wasn't pretty. Like, you can't be pretty.
It wasn't
like,
it. Like, you just black.
You have to be mixed. Black? You have to be foreign. Like, something has to be mixed with it. Like, you know, like.
And nowadays, when I tell people I'm just black, I'll be like, I'm hella black. They be like, what are you? I'm like, hella black.
Right.
Black. I thought you was Cuban, Dominican, this. I'm like, that's crazy. I'm hella black.
Sister, I don't remember that.
100% black
I don't
on
remember
both
that.
sides.
Fact. Some people be
asking, like, nah, I didn't say that.
But even like, I forgot what I was saying, but like, even being insane that you're mixed, like, some people will ask me, like, where are you from? First of all, I don't even know where I'm from. I know I'm black. That's all I know. I don't know. My mom don't know where she's from. Topic. Like, you know, ancestry. That's another thing. I don't know where the fuck I'm from. People be like, well, you look Caribbean. Well, that's nice, but I don't know if I'm from the...
That's my whole thing with these white supremacists and shit, right? It's like, oh, get out of fucking America. This is our country, blah, blah, blah. Sir, hold on. Your ancestors brought me here. I didn't ask to be here.
Right.
Like, I didn't ask to be here. And technically, if I'm going back somewhere, I need somewhere to go back to. So you go check that down, because I'm pretty sure, and you know what's deep history too? Like, you know how black people have shit passed down? Like, for example, we started doing quilts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
White people have weird passed down shit too. Like, for example, I saw this chair that was this guy distressed it, and it was full of hair, African American hair. Like, it was before the times where things was like filled with cotton or stuffing and all that. It was filled with hair, black people's hair. So white people have these like things that they pass down in their house. So I know that there was a point in your time where you know that your family has some weird little history or things like that. Like, I know that you could track it down. I know that you got some type of map family tree from the things that you used to do, your family used to do. Track that shit down and figure out where I came from, because I want to go home.
It's a big
At this point, I'm over the trip. And
I want to go home. Like, this vacation is over. And that's just a fact, and it's sad to say, but it's like so many black people that don't know their ancestry. Like, they don't know where they're from. They have no recollection or idea of like where their family was founded on, and it's because there's so much shit in history that was just blurred out, mixed up.
But think about Africa in itself is so fucking big, and everywhere in Africa was a slave trade.
Yep.
So, like, the Hutus and Tutsis, like, Africans themselves were trading within Africa.
Right.
And then you have the Europeans, and then the Brazilians, and the Spain. You have all these people coming over trading. So it's like, bruh, I could never even know where I was from, because even if you have like a region,
there's
then you
places
have like
within that region.
That specific, tribe, community, dialect, all of that changes too, right?
And I would love to know where I'm from. Like, I would love to know, like, you know, like all these people have their culture. Like, yeah, I'm Jamaican, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm black. Like, I'm just black. Yeah. Like, my food. Yes. What kind of food did y'all eat? Soul food. Like, I don't know. Like, chicken,
soul food,
macaroni and cheese.
Greens.
cornbread and collard greens. That's all I could tell you.
Like when people talk about like cultural shit, like what's your tradition? I don't have a tradition. My tradition right. was adapted over American tradition because I was brought here. Like
yeah, I don't have.
And that's why I'm like literally journeying into myself. So there's this it's another ancestry thing, but it's called African ancestry, and this one is literally for Black people. Like you can get down as far as finding out like a specific like tribe.
Okay.
But it's only in certain areas. Like for example, like let's say hypothetically speaking, because I don't know what region it is, but let's say he did most of his research in like the Western region. Then like say if you happen to be from West Africa, then he would be able to pinpoint you. Wait, but if you were from like the North region, then it's like, okay, I can tell you that you may be like North African here, right. But I don't know if
for sure,
you
yeah.
are, yeah, I don't know what tribe you're from. I could tell you that, like the country or whatever. Down.
It's okay. That's interesting. I actually wanted to try that out, but I never wanted to do like ancestry because I know there was. I just don't like, you know. I'd rather just
they keep your
DNA, right?
Ancestry keeps your DNA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm
and
not
the
fucking
reason
with
why they do it is because they say, oh, well, we keep it so that we can know if we can match your DNA with other people who are looking for their information. And then they say they keep it for research purposes in case like
what the fuck are you researching? Whatever. No, I don't like that. I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't like that either. And that's another good reason why a lot of Black women are like look for doulas and holistic doctors too, because when you go to the doctor, they take your placenta, and when they use your placenta for research, it's for like whatever experiments that they need, and you have those cells. That's what they use it for. It just goes into their inventory.
I thought you were like, supposed to take your placenta.
You're supposed to, but in a lot of hospitals, they tell you that you cannot take whatever comes out of your body. They have to take it.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm like, bro, what?
It came out of me. What you mean? Like, I'm taking my baby. I'm taking my baby, right? Yeah. That came out my body. Yes. So let me take my placenta. Yes. Like, that didn't make no sense.
I'm planting my placenta. Nobody's taking that shit. Like, yeah. Nobody's getting that. It's the genes. Your placenta is literally you.
It's it's so many nutrients and all that shit in there.
Yeah,
like,
no.
I know that they say some women eat their placenta after they give birth and like drink it and stuff. And
animals do. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't do that?
Like animals do. Cats, some dogs. I'm not eating my placenta, bro. all the stuff in the world.
No, not that.
But even that, it don't go back in.
Even that, like, I want a doula too. My friend is actually practicing to become a doula, so I have a doula that's my friend to be my doula because, like, I want to have a water birth. I want to be at home. Like, I don't want to be at the hospital, giving birth to my children just because, like, you know, there's just a lot of like negativity and it's just a lot of bad things that happen to African American women that go to the hospital and give birth. A lot of their pain is not dealt with. They're not believed. Like, I don't have time to be dealing with that bullshit. And you know, people be like, oh, that doesn't happen to everybody. I don't give a fuck. If it's a statistic, it could happen, and I don't want it to happen to me. Right. So I'm just not gonna go. Right. You know, I'm not gonna do that.
That's the reality of it.
That's just the reality
because
of it.
Some people, like, they don't take they don't listen to them when they need pain medication, or they take their baby away for a hella long time, which is weird. Like, I don't know. I just don't agree with the practices that they have. And also the system that when you have your baby, once your baby comes out of you, you're supposed to have that one-to-one contact.
Yeah, that's
so that your baby knows, like, the nurturing and all that. They know that, like, okay, everything's okay. And as soon as you have your baby, they take your baby away, they wash your baby, they put your baby over here somewhere, do the vitals, check this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And then they be like, oh, hold on, we got to do some other stuff. Let me make sure everybody out the room, then give the mom something, and then bring the baby back. Give me my fucking baby.
Right,
I'm not negotiating with y'all about who can see my baby. I'm not negotiating with y'all about who can touch my baby.
Facts.
Like, when you're in the office, it's like, you're supposed to create this, like, ambiance for yourself that's, like, sacred. And the hospital takes away from that. It's cold, it's hella noisy, got all these lights, it's fast
all these
paced,
sick people, diseases, and germs, yeah.
I could have my baby at home.
Right, like, And if my baby needs the hospital, we will make ourselves there. Like we will get ourselves there to save my baby. Like I'm not even
not
like
saying that I'm completely denouncing Western
right.
medicine.
Exactly. Now I'm not. We're not saying that. We're just
But I'm saying
saying
that if I have the opportunity to have my own baby,
I'm gonna
have
do
my
it.
own baby.
Same here. Same here. But uh, I think we covered a lot here. I don't know if you have any questions for me. That was all the questions I had for you. Um, but she said, let me think about it. Just let me think about it. Right. But I think this was like a really insightful conversation to have. Like I definitely feel like I hope a lot of black people learned. I definitely learned like some things like, about dismantling the police and, just your insight on that. And I feel like I just hope that I know I joked around and said that I'm gonna lose a lot of followers, but I only said that because I know like when it comes to like race and subjects like this, people tend to whatever they believe, and there's no change in their mindset. There's no change in them, and especially when it comes to like Black Lives Matter. Like honestly, like I'm not even trying to be rude, but I'm not with the all lives matter. I'm not trying to say I don't think all lives matter, but
that's dead.
You know what I mean? Like Black lives matter. Like like we're not denouncing from all lives. We're just saying let's pay extra attention to the Black lives that get taken all the time. And so I say that to say that, I know a lot of people won't agree with me when it comes to that and won't agree with you. And, if you don't want to listen to somebody that thinks that, by all means, unfollow me. I have no problem with that because I would not be comfortable following someone that I don't feel like aligns with my values and my beliefs. So if that's how you feel,
right?
That's how you feel. Like, you
and
feel
then
me?
The
like,
other thing is that if you're not at a space to open the conversation up to even gain insight on to see what someone else is thinking, then how can you call me out or call me wrong for doing anything if you can't even have the conversation?
Right, open your mind. Just be a little bit open to different perspectives. Like you don't even have to agree with me, but like at least hear me out. Listen to what I have to say.
Right.
You feel me?
And that's all that fucking
And that's
matters.
all that.
That's
Yeah, that's all that fucking matters, and that's the point. Exactly. But thank you, Nafisa, for coming on for episode 9 and speaking about Black lives, speaking about your community, speaking about your people, speaking about what you're supposed to be doing. Everybody, please follow Nafisa. I'm gonna put her link in the bio. Check out her poetry book. My sis is doing her thing.
Wait, hold on. Since you said that.
Oh, you got it.
I just happen to have it right here because I was about to do some autographs.
Yes, selfish.
So,
self-conscious, self-conscious.
Yes. Yep, and it's just a poetry book. It's literally exactly what you think when you read that title. And it's short and sweet and to the point. So buy this book. It's cheap. Period. And it's by a black woman.
Okay.
Period. Like
and not only is it by a black woman, but you out here doing shit. You have your own book, bro. Not everybody can say that. You know what I'm saying?
And I published this. Published. I published it.
Okay, it says the name. Make sure y'all check that out. Make sure y'all follow Uncomfortable. Make sure y'all like and subscribe on the YouTube. As always, thank you for fucking with the kid, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in and always supporting me up until now. This is episode 9. Like we're really doing this. Like we started at episode 1. Now we're at 9. If you can count.
If you can count, we still doing.
Exactly, we still going, and we still fucking going. So thank you guys for tuning in, and tune into the next episode.